Okay, let me try this one more time. Can you guys hear me now? That would be, could you just let me know? Lisa, if you can hear me, second time, second attempt, can you hear me? Testing the audio. Can you guys confirm that you can hear me okay? You can hear me now. Okay, awesome. Great, thank you. That was a little audio issue there. Okay, let me just see whether I can log into my Facebook account here and see you guys. And that way I can see your comments right away. So today we're going to be talking about seed rotation, you guys. I want to teach you how to use this incredibly simple method to rebalance your hormones. And let's wait for a little bit more people to come in. And then we're going to be talking about this. I want to check in with you. Tell me where you're from, where you're logging in. I'm always curious where my audience is coming from. And then we're going to begin shortly. I'm also going to show you a simple recipe today for a smoothie that uses the seed rotation method as well, because that's really what I want to teach you today, how to put that into good use. Okay, here I am, live. This is the seed rotation method as well. Okay, great. So I can see myself here, and I can see your questions. That's the most important thing. All right, sorry about that. Technical things always happens. Welcome to my home in Boulder, Colorado. I'm finally in my own home. I had a temporary furnished apartment for about 10 months. And, I tried my best. I found the best place I could to finish off the cookbook. And then I decided Boulder, Colorado is going to be my home. And I've got a long-term rent now. I brought all the things from California. Hi there, Robin from New Jersey, Judy from Washington State. And so, it's nothing like having your own home, especially the kitchen. So when I asked you guys, what's the first thing you unpack when you move into a new house? Most of you said the kitchen. And guess what? My kitchen is like 80% there, but I've got boxes everywhere else. I'm totally not unpacked yet. I'm going to try to finish it off this weekend. So as you can see, this is part of the kitchen, nice bright kitchen. Super excited to be in my own place. And Charlene Smith from Texas. Gabriella says yes. I'm assuming that's talking about the kitchen. So how many of you guys here have heard about the seed rotation method? I'm curious. And so Gail is saying USK, Washington. I don't know what that is, but that's Washington. Welcome. And, so in case you're new to this, my name is Magdalena Wszelaki. I'm the founder of Hormones Balance. I teach women how to rebalance their hormones naturally, predominantly with food, a lot of self-love, a lot of sleep, a lot of self-nurturing. And, the seed rotation is hi Deb there from Toronto and Lisa from Northwest Pennsylvania. The seed rotation is one of the simplest methods you can deploy like today. Go to the store and get the seeds to start seeing some really great results. I just want to preface it that, if you are still like living on gluten and dairy and sugar as your, source of happiness, and you can't live without caffeine or maybe 5 cups of coffee a day, it's going to be always hard to rebalance your hormones just by doing seed rotation. But if you just generally kind of clean up your diet and then you incorporate things like the seed rotation into your daily protocol, wonderful things will start happening. Tracy says she's never heard of this before. Gail Nielsen says, yes, but I know Gail is a regular, so she's familiar with that. And Tracy's very interested. So let's see, we've got about 100 people now online. So I just started talking about it, and I want to show you, I've got my NutriBullet here with me, so that I want to show you, make a recipe, which is also going to be my, a second breakfast. I tend to get up early, so now it's after 11 o'clock local time, and so I'm getting really hungry right now, right? Because it's I've been up since 5. So let's see. Now, Gail is saying, should they be soaked, the seeds? Let's talk about that in a second. Let me just go with the bigger picture first, and then we go into your specific questions about seed rotation. So let me just explain first that the method can be used for both. If you're still menstruating, you can use this to really help you with estrogen dominance, but also to boost out your progesterone levels, and I'll tell you how in a second. And then on the other hand, you have this can also be used for women who are going through menopause. Even for women who've gone through menopause, you will start seeing really great results. Gabriella is saying my newsletters are very useful. Okay, good. we spend a lot of time writing really good content and verifying the content, because there's a lot of BS out there as you know, in the internet space about what's good and what's not good. So the method is really for anyone. So what will it help you with? Seed rotation helps you with estrogen dominance and helping your progesterone levels, which in terms of symptoms, it will help you with things like PMS, women who had fibroids, endometriosis, infertility issues, lack of their periods don't come, or they have periods that go on for like 20 days, which is terrible because it just makes you exhausted. You're losing so much iron and blood, right? Let's see what else. You know, just generally like puffiness, like estrogen dominance can also be one of the causes of excessive weight storage, right? That just wouldn't go away. And then you have the low progesterone, which can be connected to estrogen dominance because there's too much estrogen, especially the aggressive estrogen. And then you have, too low of progesterone. How do you know you have low progesterone? Is when you have mid-cycle spotting, when you can't fall asleep at night, which could also be due to cortisol, but it can well be progesterone, low progesterone. You can't get pregnant. You can't get a full, you lose a baby within the first 3 months, oftentimes is due to low progesterone levels. Anxiety, feeling very flighty and very easily irritable, right, can be also due to low progesterone levels. And the old school of thought was that women with menopause do not need progesterone, which is, now we know that it's very much not true. In fact, when you go through menopause and you go into menopause, you're in full menopause and postmenopausal, you still have hormones, you just have less of them, right? And, so this, again, the seed rotation is going to help you tremendously. So how do you do it? Very simple. If you're menstruating, your cycle consists of two parts, the luteal phase and the follicular phase, the follicular phase and then the luteal phase. Follicular phase is from the day 1 of your cycle, which is the day of your period, not spotting, but day of your period. And then it goes, if you have a 28-day cycle, then in the middle of it, it's your 14 days. That's about what your follicular phase is, basically until you ovulate. And I'm curious here, how many of you know that you're ovulating? I'm curious to know. Could you let me know? Because, and by the way, thank you, Becky. She's just tagged Wendy, saying it's a great video and information. So if I'm talking about stuff that you think other women will benefit, please do feel free to tag them in this video. They don't have to watch it live. They can always come back and watch it later because the video is gonna stay on there for a while, right? So, yeah, Susan is saying me. Yes. Okay. So I guess that was a yes to the knowing that you are ovulating. A lot of women do not know that they're ovulating. And so how you know? Well, your body temperature increases. You will have, some women have mid-cycle spotting, which is also due to low progesterone. Your sex drive can go up. You might be feeling a little bit more sassy. A lot of waitresses, there's a study they did, that a lot of waitresses have been actually getting more tips when they're ovulating as compared to other parts of their cycle. What else? You definitely feel a little bit more aroused, generally, much more receptive to things, which is kind of goes with the opening of the vagina and is also us opening to ideas. A lot of times women who work with cycles will say that if you want to be open to listening to new ideas on how to remodel a house or how to restructure your business or your kids' ideas for the future, whatever it might be that you need to be a little bit more open, then this is a good time to do that. So yeah, so then, you know, after ovulation, we go into the luteal phase where the luteal corpus starts to build up and getting thicker. That starts producing more progesterone, and then that will carry on all the way to our cycle. In the time of our cycle, this is when if we don't get pregnant, right, that's when we get our period. Everything gets shedded, and this is where our period basically will get rid of all the buildup of the luteal corpus that happened. So in the first part of the cycle, which is your follicular phase, I'll repeat from day 1 to day 14. If your cycle is 30 days, then it's the first 15 days. And hey, you guys, you don't have to be obsessing about it. If you're just doing 12 days or 14 days or 15 days, doesn't really matter. So the first part of the cycle, so follicular phase, you want to help to build up your estrogen level. And you do that through using 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds and flaxseed, right? Which, because I'm in your new home, I was convinced that I had them in my boxes and I can't find them right now. So, but I don't think I need to show you that, because you guys know, right? Flaxseed, pumpkin seeds. You want to use raw, you want to use organic, you want to use definitely fresh. And I recommend to grind them freshly on the day of, maximum 4 or 5 days out. Especially flaxseed gets oxidized very easily, so you lose a lot of the potency of these seeds really quickly. And that's why today I'm going to show you how to make a smoothie with some of the seeds in them. And you know, you don't have to put them in a smoothie. You can put them on top of salads. You can put them basically straight into a glass of water as if you're doing a supplement. It doesn't really matter. Somebody asked, do you need to soak them? Great question. You know, soaking of seeds, I mean, you can't really soak flax seeds because they just become very gelatinous and there isn't much water to get rid of after that. But if it helps your digestion to soak things like sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and pumpkin seeds, definitely do so. Just make sure you can soak them for 24 hours. It does help with digestibility, especially if you have sensitive digestion and seeds don't agree with you, try soaking. However, if you're having problems with seeds in general, your digestion just goes wonky, you've got IBS going on, you've got a lot of sensitivities, please do not use this method, right? This is only a method for those who can tolerate it. So what happens is, so back to the seeds. You can pre-soak them, make sure that you're re-soaking them, you're using them right away, maximum 3 days in the fridge, otherwise they get moldy. If you want to go through the whole shebang of then dehydrating them, then you can do that. So you soak them first for 24 hours, get rid of the water, and then you put them in a dehydrator, or I use an oven, very low temperature, open up the door. So you're maintaining about 120 Fahrenheit temperature. Dehydrate them because you do not, the last thing you want is be eating moldy seeds, right? So let's talk about luteal phase, and that's the phase I'm in today. I ovulated about 5 days ago, so I'm in the luteal phase right now. I should get my period in about a week. So this is when you want to switch over to sesame seeds and to sunflower seeds. The reason is that both of these seeds, they bring in zinc and vitamin E, which are hugely important in helping to stimulate progesterone production. And one question that a lot of women will ask is, what foods can I eat that are progesterone rich? There is no such thing, right? Like, for example, flaxseed is high in estrogens, phytoestrogens, which, by the way, are really good for you. I can talk about that in a second. Is anybody here scared of flaxseed? Just let me know, because there's a lot of confusion around flaxseed. Let me come back to this and finish my thought on the luteal phase. So the zinc and vitamin E really helps to boost progesterone production, which all happens in the ovaries, and it's the luteal corpus that produces progesterone. So you can directly do it, but you can provide enough nutrition to your body to support it and produce sufficient progesterone. So because of that, I've got sunflower seeds here, and I've got sesame seeds that are raw. Do not buy them roasted because, I don't have studies on it, but Common sense tells me that roasting will take away some of the nutritional value of the seeds, and hence I would not recommend using them. So, do you guys want to see the smoothie? This is like one of the quick smoothies that I've been making. Or do you have any questions first that you want me to answer before I go on to making the smoothie? Let's see if there's any questions that are coming in. Brenda is saying, hello from San Antonio, Texas, I suppose. I shared with all the ladies on my Facebook page of all ages. Thank you, Brenda. That's so sweet. Susan is asking, is eating pumpkin or sunflower seeds enough, or do I have to grind before eating? Yes, so great question. I forgot that part. You're gonna grind them, and grinding is what releases all the phytonutrients that are required. That will definitely help with the release of the vitamin E. With the zinc, definitely is gonna help with flaxseed as well. Sally's saying, I've been estrogen dominant my whole life. This is so vital. Now I'm in postmenopausal. Hey Sally, so I would also recommend for you to do it. A lot of postmenopausal women are still estrogen dominant. And like the bad news is you high in those antagonistic estrogens that are the main cause of breast lumps, breast cancers, endometriosis. You know, postmenopausal women is things like, you know, having issues with the ovaries even at that age. So I would recommend definitely to look into that as well and trying it. And you know, you guys, that's the beauty of food, right? Is that like it's just food and it's not gonna do anything bad for you. The only thing, the worst thing that can happen from what I know, is that, you know, if your digestion is really, really wonky, you're gonna get digestive upset, right? So if you know you can't do seeds, just don't do the method. Otherwise, it's just food. Like it's not, you know, you're not taking any supplements, any medications here that, you know, your body might respond in a weird way. It's just food. And so it either is going to help you, it will do nothing. It won't hurt you, right? So let me start making that smoothie. Jenny's saying if I chew the seeds well, yeah, you know, Jeannie, I think that would work. The method was actually, I've learned this method from my friend who's a naturopath. And she's given me a lot of really great tips that became part of my, you know, my toolkit. And the studies that they have conducted on women that the naturopaths are using is based on pre-ground seeds. So, you know, it makes total sense to me if you really, really chew them well, that would work for you. But, you know, if they don't, then I will do the grinding and then trying it, right? Okay, you guys, are you ready for the smoothie? Because I'm hungry, so I'm gonna, if you're not ready, too bad, because I'm making it. All right, so the first thing that's gonna go in here is cooking gas. Next time I'm gonna bring the camera closer. I'm gonna have a different camera set up. Then you can see things really closely. But let me bring this closer. Can you guys recognize this? What is this? If you've been watching me for a while, you already know. She's like, oh, she's so predictable. Broccoli sprouts. Incredibly. I mean, these little tiny, tender, you know, innocent looking things are a real powerhouse. Studies show that a cup a day of these can help shrink breast lumps and cancers. And they did a comparison to women who are on tamoxifen, which is a breast cancer suppressing, well, breast cancer treatment medication, very invasive. And they have the same results with using a cup of this versus tamoxifen, which is an estrogen blocker, without the terrible side effects of tamoxifen, which is things like liver failure. So the second thing I'm using here is Arugula. And have you guys seen my Cooking for Balance program, the free workshop that I run? I talk about there the cruciferous vegetables are hugely important in helping you detoxify your liver, as well as, and also help in detoxifying us from estrogen. So another really huge, great thing. The other thing I'm gonna put in here is, you know, I'm not a fan of sweet smoothies. You guys know that, right? But you know what? I did have a little bit of pineapple left, and so I'm gonna use that. And literally, I'm just gonna use maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chunks. So that's maybe like 2 teaspoons of sugar in here. The reason why I like pineapple is because it is full of bromelain, which is a wonderful enzyme that helps with digestion. And it helps you, it actually stimulates enzymatic production, so it improves your digestion a lot. Now, a couple of other things that I'm gonna do is, I love lemon, right? And so I've got an organic lemon here, which I'm gonna use. Have you guys used this before? I can't live without that stuff. So it's this lemon squeezer, right? That makes things just so easy to get the juice out, but also it blocks the seeds from coming through. So lemon, so great on so many levels, including helping to alkalize the body. So you can see a lot of really good phytonutrients in here, but we don't have any fat in here yet, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm using half an avocado, and you know, if budget is tight, avocado is one of those vegetables. It's actually a fruit. One of those that you can use non-organic, buy non-organic, and the amount of pesticides is not as high as in other you know, fruits, and so you're gonna be pretty good. I'm also gonna do a little bit of ginger, again to facilitate, get the digestion going, and you know, it's warming, it's just so refreshing. I love ginger. And so now we have our seeds, right? And so I've got about 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds right here, sesame seeds in right now, because I'm going through the luteal phase right now that I explained. I want to work on boosting out my progesterone levels. And as you can see just now here, what I'm also doing is I'm using a lot of foods that are also going to help with estrogen at the same time. So it doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be, you know, you can be working on both. And what I'm doing here also is I'm using some sea salt. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of sea salt. And the reason why I do that is because it really is a great way of supporting the adrenals through, you know, salt really helps with that. And I've been craving salt recently as well. I forgot to bring, oh no, actually I have the water right here. So what I'm gonna then do is, depending on how thick you want it, I'm just gonna fill it up till it's almost covered. And this is, I'm using filtered water. So it does not have any chlorine, it does not have fluoride in it, does not inhibit your thyroid function. By the way, things like a fridge filter is pretty useless. So it doesn't block out most of the things that, so I suggest get a really good filter, especially when you're having thyroid issues and estrogen issues. And let's just give it a bit of that swirl now. Woohoo! That's it. And that's, I love NutriBullet. It's so easy to use and so little cleaning. Open it up. And then I just, you know, you just drink it straight up. I love my Vitamix, but it's a pain to clean it afterwards. You know how, you know what I mean? I forgot about my, have you guys seen my little herbal garden? That mint is just beautiful. I could have thrown in some, I'm gonna actually do that right now if you don't mind. I'm just gonna throw in some mint, fresh mint. So you know how you buy herbs in, and then they sit in the fridge and start withering and stuff, right? You know, get either an herbal garden or put them into smoothies. So, second world. Ross is saying, I don't like smoothies, can I just eat the foods? Absolutely. In fact, we've got new recipes coming out for different kind of truffles. They're going to be using seed rotation seeds, and so you can use different kind of truffles for your luteal phase, different ones for your follicular phase. I'm serious, I am hungry, so I'm just going to have a couple of sips if you don't mind. Very nice. As you can see, if you follow me for a while, you know that I don't like sugar in smoothies, right? I generally want to teach you ways of getting off sugar. one of the principles of the 3 things that I always talk about when it comes to rebalancing your hormones, in case you're new to this community. And you know, just want to give you a little bit of a larger perspective here, that the health of your gut, stability of your sugar levels, and elimination of sugar and stop craving it, and then your liver function are the 3 bodily systems that govern, like a foundation, right, of a house, that govern a good hormonal balance. So the tricky thing I find with a lot of smoothies out there in the market, including a lot of the recipes, it's like, you know, it's got bananas and pineapple and beets and carrots and, you know, the list goes on. And they're all wonderful foods. The problem is that when I sometimes look at those recipes and mentally I do a calculation how much sugar there is in them, you know, you're loading easily, like between 8 to 10 teaspoons of sugar a day, and then you live under the impression that it's a really healthy drink. And if it's the only sugar you eat in a day, it's kind of okay. But if that's something, and then on top of that, you do desserts, and then you do, you know, you do grains, and then you do oatmeal for breakfast with more fruit, right? It really builds up really, really quickly. And the next thing you know, you're actually doing 30 teaspoons of sugar a day with all the healthy foods without even realizing it. As you can see here in this smoothie, there was these 8 chunks of pineapple that I put in there. And it was actually 6 chunks, which equate to about 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar. That's all there is here. And you know, the things that really bring out a lot of flavor in smoothies is actually 2 things. One is acidity, so things like the lemon. Otherwise, they can be quite bland. If you think about it, you know, I mean, the broccoli sprouts, they're pretty bland. They kind of taste like grass. The trick is how to hide them well and incorporate into these really tasty foods. So acidity is one thing that helps to really bring out the flavors and cover up that blandness. And the second thing is, when you're adding in salt, salt brings out, again, opens up the flavors and brings out a lot of flavors out. And then playing around with spices and herbs, like I was using, you know, earlier I was using ginger, right? Again, it brings out the flavors. So really a low sugar, super, you know, potent, nutrient dense drink that you can have either as breakfast. As you can see, there isn't a lot of protein in here, so you're gonna be the best judge. Is this enough for you? Sometimes when I have a full day, I will do this and I'll do a piece of chicken or a piece of lamb, which is my favorite, with some you know, salt, sea salt on it, or truffle salt. I'll show you my truffle salt. That's with a little specks. I don't know if you guys can see it. Those little black specks is truffle salt. So let's see, there's some questions coming in, so let me go over those. Where's the best place to find and buy seeds? Tracy's asking. Definitely it would be in places like just your health stores. It's just the simplest thing, and just pick organic, the easiest thing to do. Susan is asking, could raw tahini be used in luteal phase effectively? Susan, I would say yes, because it's ground sesame seed, so absolutely. Rose is saying, I don't like smoothies, so I think I've answered that. You can just put that on top of, you know, on top of salads. You can put that on top of, you can actually just put that in. So sometimes when I don't have time to do a smoothie, I will just put that into a glass of water and have it with some supplements, for example. Let's see, do I need to, okay, so we talked about soaking already, and Sally is saying, I'm having some real challenges with dropping weight using this program. What else can you recommend? Sally, I'm not sure which program you're talking about. You're talking about a Cooking for Balance program. I did a whole call on how to rebalance the various reasons why you're not losing weight. So my assistant Lisa, who's online right now with us, Lisa, if I could ask you to post the link to the video that I did, the Facebook Live I did several weeks ago about the various reasons why you're not losing weight, which basically, and if you could put it to the top, that would be great. So Sally, take a look at that video, because the underlying cause of not losing weight is there's an ongoing inflammation that's going on. And, you know, I teach in a program about food, but there could be other causes of inflammation, such as parasites, such as bacterial infections, such as viral infections. It could be horrendous stress you're not addressing, like having, for example, burnt adrenals. Adrenals can be a huge cause of inflammation. You know, I want to just tell you, one of the most challenging people to work with when I was still doing private consultations was in New York City, where every woman has a full-on job, family, passions, interests, dance classes, constant improvements and conferences, and people see sleep as a waste of time. And one of the biggest challenges I always had was working with super stressed out, incredibly busy women who would not even sit down and give themselves 15 minutes to have lunch, because they will do lunch while they're doing their emails, and they were constantly stressed out with their adrenals just on the high the whole time. You cannot lose weight when you're on a constant alert. Your body is constantly on such high alert and such high vibrations, and that it contributes to the inflammation. Is virtually impossible for some women, not for everyone, because I can be stressed out and I lose weight. Other people, you know, are stressed out and they put on weight. You've got to respect that about your body. So watch the inflammation video. I think that will be super helpful. Priya is saying, I'm menopausal. Let me just take a look at this. I'm menopausal, da da da. Let me see if I can. Rose saying, could you review the seeds to use? So just very quickly, Ross, because I don't want to repeat that same thing. Day first, 1 of your period until ovulation, follicular phase, you're doing sunflowers, you're doing pumpkin seeds and flaxseed. Second part of your cycle, follicular phase, you switch over to 2 weeks of doing sesame seeds and sunflower seeds, what I did just now, to help your progesterone production. If you're menopausal, premenopausal, postmenopausal, or if your cycle is all over the place, you do 2 weeks, 2 weeks, you start off anytime you want. Okay, so how are we doing, you guys? Are there any other questions coming in? I'm pretty relaxed. I like raisins though, Sally's saying. Okay, Sally, so I'm talking about inflammation. You know, so stress is one of the causes. Look at the other things I talk about in that video. Let's see. Okay, so I think that's pretty much, would you mind? Okay, so I buy Gold Roll, sprouted sunflower and pumpkin seeds. Junie's asking. Perfect, great. That's a, sprouted is wonderful. Sprouted means they've been soaked. They sprout on the inside, so you wouldn't see the little tail, but that's really great because they get rid of all the phytic acid in them, which is really awesome. Okay, you guys, so I like to keep those videos to below 40 minutes. I hope this was helpful for you. I'm wondering here, who is gonna be trying it starting this weekend or starting today, however is your day is panning out to be. So who's gonna be trying the seed rotation method? Can you let us know? I'm always curious. It's so good. It's so simple. I hope you try it. All right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself. Do something really nurturing, something that really feeds your soul. And I will definitely see you next Friday. Okay, bye for now. I need to come over and turn it off. Okay, bye everyone.